About 3 dozen workers asking for higher wages chanted and waved signs outside of Port Tampa Bay. They are some of the 45,000 International Longshoresmen Association members whose contracts expired earlier this week. Nicholas DeFresco is with the ILA in Tampa. He says members will be picketing until a deal is reached.
We just want a fair contract with fair increases that keep up with the inflation and trying to project that inflation moving forward.
Michael Rubin is the president and CEO of the Florida Ports Council. What does this mean for those who are impacted by Hurricane Helene that might be looking for new furniture, that might be in the grocery stores a little bit more?
Yeah, I feel for them. Look, everybody that, again, all Floridians have gone through this, those shelves were getting emptied by people looking to stock up for the hurricane supply kits. And now that you're heading back out there, you're looking at shelves that may have gotten some stuff, but may still be impacted by, empty shelves and the like. Certainly construction supplies and all the rest of it. Yeah, they're going to see empty shelves, unfortunately, and certainly going to have an impact on those construction supplies that are out there. Hopefully, I don't know how much of that impact will hit every port that's out there. Again, they're going to be seeking separate routes. So we do have some ports that will get what we term bulk cargo type stuff. So lumber may start to flow a little bit more through ports like that are out there, and others getting it. But I don't know how you replace that. You've got, I just forgot the name of that significant furniture store that gets a lot of their stuff in there. I'm sure they have the stuff now, but there's a lot of people that are going to be looking for replacement stuff, and there's going to be a big significant demand on it. And hopefully they will be able to supply it through other alternative routes. But it's going to be concerning. I don't know the impact on the Christmas stuff. Usually October is about when that product starts to flow through the nation's seaports. So I would imagine there'll potentially be, again, depending how long it lasts, an impact on the Christmas shopping that'll start soon.
And when will people start to see the impacts of this strike?
I wouldn't be surprised, again, because of Helene, I wouldn't be surprised to see that impact sooner rather than later on it. If we didn't have that kind of a terrible storm that came through, I would imagine it would have been delayed a bit. But I don't, I would imagine you're going to see it sooner rather than later, especially those looking to, for those kinds of items that you would need to recover from a hurricane.
All right, and what have you been hearing from, if anything, from local businesses that rely on the port? How are they preparing for the potential disruption?
I think a lot of them were, again, this is June when the negotiations just came to a standstill. So it's people have known about it, but it's a whole nother thing when it starts drying up. The businesses and the like would probably not contact my office. They'll be contacting those businesses that are providing their services to them, whether they're the box, the container box people that operate that, the customs and forward brokers and the like are probably hearing from them right now and have heard from them. I know there was a little bit of planning prior to people knowing the strike was going to occur on October 1st, but whether you can stock up enough to, deal with a hurricane that came through, I don't know. I doubt it.
And as far as prices, will we be seeing increases?
I hope not, but the market is what the market is on there. I know that certainly others will be looking for making sure that there's no, trying to take advantage of people. I know all of our state agencies will be on the watch out for that, like they always are after any hurricane. You always have a supply demand thing, and certainly prices go up after a hurricane. Now we're adding a strike onto it, so. Yeah, it's bad timing, and frankly, again, I wish, that I understand where the ILA workers are on it, and it's coming out of New Jersey. I will tell you that we don't have an automation issue here in the state of Florida with respect to that complaint by the industry and the ILA in New Jersey. I know that our workers are I'll give credit to a lot of our ILA workers here in the state of Florida. They do a great job, and I know they're going to follow their leadership, unfortunately. But I'm hopeful that maybe that leadership will say, why don't we get back to work and continue our negotiations. They've made their point, and I think that people have certainly heard it, and I'm hopeful for a resolution that both sides can live with.
Will the Florida Ports Council, are there any plans to endorse or advocate for a certain side of this this agreement?
You know, we don't get involved in those type of contract negotiations. I think we would like to see the administration, you know, try to push for negotiations that occur while everybody's back at work. I think that that's something they could certainly do. Again, they've made their point on there. I don't know if that's something that they're willing to do on it, but I think that would be our point on with respect to it. Get back to work, continue the negotiations, and see if you can work something out.
Are there any specific plans for rerouting or sharing resources with any other ports, either like statewide or nationwide?
Yeah, and we we do that during hurricanes when some are closed down and they got to move stuff on there. Some of our ports, if they have the capacity to handle those products, the real problem is you got container cranes and the like that really requires some specified labor and specified equipment. We do have cranes on some of our other ports that have some capacity to handle some other stuff, but it just depends on where those companies are moving to. I wouldn't be surprised to see some of our other ports that don't have the limitations get some more product in than they have in the past. Same thing with our, again, cargo operations at even those ports that are impacted by it. They may see bulk cargo carriers carrying more stuff that you can take off without using a container crane, but we'll see.
All right. And I know that all four of the ports in Florida are impacted, but if you could say which one's probably the most impacted and which one's probably the least impacted.
I mean, all those containers, Jacksonville is our largest container port, but they're all impacted a significant amount on there. Anybody that has a USMX labor, and those four do, I don't know which one you would even look at being more. They're all pretty diversified. So, Jacksport, Tampa, and Everglades are pretty diversified. Miami is probably more container and cruise, but their cruise operations are still running. So think they're happy that they've got cruise, unlike during COVID when the cruise shut down and the containers were still moving. So it's yeah. I wouldn't venture a guess on which one has more of an impact than the others, but I know that Tampa and Jacksonville and Everglades are happy they're a little bit more diversified.
All right. In the Florida Ports Council, you said that you remain hopeful about a negotiation and agreement. What's your outlook on the timeline? And if it is an extended strike, what would that look like for the Tampa Bay area?
I think for the entire nation, if that strike keeps going, I saw the comment, and I don't know why he made it, about crippling from Mr. Daggett. I think that's an unfortunate statement, but I mean if you're living on the east of the Mississippi in the United States, you're going to see an impact if it takes too long, and it's not a good one. That will mean less goods, higher costs, and the like. So I don't know if you're making any friends anywhere. And yes, some of those workers need a pay raise, absolutely. And don't need to lose their jobs, and they do a good job, and they need to be adequately compensated for it. But the longer this lasts, the more significant it is with respect to all U.S. citizens.
All right. And lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add that you feel we didn't cover?
No, I think that gets it. And again, to all the people in Tampa that responded, your emergency response people and those local and state ones did a great job with a horrible storm that came through there, and hopefully everybody get up and running and get the water out. I don't envy those, and I feel for those people that homes had everybody's got like 2 feet plus of water that went into their houses. So we feel for them, and good work to those responders over there.